Are we rolling? Someone say action. All right, action. Sir, do you believe climate change exists?
Uh,
Oh shit.
Can I curse in this?
What kind of question is that? Probably.
Yes, it does exist.
Yes.
I don't know, man. I don't have like enough information to decide.
Oh shit. Climate change is when it snows in a state that has palm trees. If you guys remember 2 years ago. Climate change is when you don't see snow in Canada in the wintertime.
I think a common misconception is people think climate change is just everything's getting hotter, but that's not necessarily true.
Gases from like factories and cars and like greenhouse gases that kind of come up and have a greenhouse effect, which then heats the earth. And that just kind of keeps adding on, and there's like no release.
Probably when I was like in 5th grade.
The first time that I heard about it was actually through someone's Instagram post.
First time. Probably late middle school, like 8th grade.
Upon coming to this country, it was one of my fucking English questions. For real. It's like they let me listen to this lecture about climate change.
It was just through like random conversations or like making jokes or something. And someone like made a joke about climate change and I was like, huh, what's that? I think I remember, it wasn't an event, but I remember like seeing like a photo and I think it was either like a polar bear, just like small like little like ice things, ice caps, and just the bear's like kind of just like stuck and it was like, oh, there's no more ice for him.
I don't know. Ask Leo.
It was like early on. It was like 70s?
1970s? Okay, that's not that far. No.
All right.
Coal and nuclear power plants, fucking up the ozone layer.
Factories and like all the transportation, just all that gas building up.
Like farming and the methane from that.
We're emitting so much shit into our ozone and just into the environment.
It would be kind of ignorant to think
Think
that
that
everything that we're doing is not
affecting.
Yeah, isn't it like 2040? It's like soon.
I really thought it was like a couple years. I thought it was like 17 months or something.
I've heard that we have like maybe till 2030, maybe till 2050. Yeah, before the planet is just.
8 years is the newest one where they keep pushing the deadline. They're like, oh, this time it'll be really bad. And now in 8 years will be the point of no return.
I remember hearing something like, it was like either 17 months or 17 years. One of the two.
I mean, one could say it's already impacting us, right?
I know that our impact is going to be irreversible within the next 20 years, probably less.
Floods?
No, I'm assuming that like we start losing land into the sea. That's like the biggest one because of everything melting. Yeah.
What is something that I can do to help the environment?
First of all, we need to stop oil fracking.
I guess if people use cars a little bit less, I'm not saying like switch to electric cars because those are, if you charge that thing, it's powered by whatever power plant is nearby. So like, not saying electric vehicles are bad, but they're not a complete solution.
Carpool more, like put more effects into that.
Just minimizing like plastic usage.
Don't use straws, they're bad.
Like when you go to the grocery store, like use reusable bags, that's what I do. Have a reusable water bottle that you carry around.
Casting your vote for someone who can enact regulations and taxes on corporations who make the most environmental impact. So they say that individual change is important, and I think that's true, but I think that it ultimately falls upon our government and our forms of production.
The focus right now is on straws specifically, and it just needs to be all plastic and all waste in general.
I think there needs to be more incentives for big businesses to go green, because right now, if you go green, it's just going to cost you more money, and there's not really any benefit to it. But
besides the obvious benefit of like you get to live and you
some
get to
people
have
just
children
have
and you get to live, but
dollar signs, and that's the only green they think about. So it's like people need to stop supporting businesses that are not green friendly, that are not earth friendly. Because there's plenty of other options. There was a plastic bag ban. I can't remember what state it was, but I know that Target pretty much refused. I can't remember, but Target pretty much refused to go along with it. And I love Target, I love Target all the time, but I feel like things like that need to be red flags. People need to be aware of the situations. Amazon uses so much unnecessary packaging. When businesses are called out on their actions and we all join together to say, hey, knock it off or we're not going to buy your shit anymore, then it makes a difference. There should be incentives for businesses, like tax write-offs and things like that for going green.
No. What's that?
Yeah, is that just climate anxiety?
Is that how I feel like every morning?
Yeah, like is that like just like
Anxious
anxious
that the world's
that
gonna
the world is
end?
gonna
I mean, I assume that it's kind of just like this impending doom that you just kind of feel, and your future is very unsure, and you're kind of scared for what the future holds because you're afraid that the world might burn at any minute, and especially with the Amazon on fire and all that stuff.
I do not.
Yes. Oh, for sure.
Yes, in the fact that we're fucked, but no in the fact that I think I was born at the right time to like not get too much of the bad stuff.
I don't know if I would say I have climate anxiety per se, but I definitely like, worry about it. And part of what like happens when I worry about it is like I will like worry and then be like, it's such a big issue that I can't do anything just being myself, and then I just am like, oh well, I guess it doesn't matter because I do the stuff I can, but I can't impact it on a huge level.
I think we all should have climate
Yes.
anxiety.
A lot of it.
Check yourself.
Every day.
Yeah.
No, you're all right.
Vaguely.
I do. Of course I do. I love turtles. I love dolphins. Save the planet.